Good morning. Let me let the dog in. Good morning. I hope you guys are all excited to be joining us again today. Hopefully, if you can't join us now, you'll join in on our website. You can get all of the activities there. Today we're going to be doing an experiment called Dancing Rice, but we will get into the details of that here in a minute. A couple things before we get started while we're waiting for everybody to get on today. If you requested hot chocolate, it went out in the mail yesterday, so you should be getting it either tomorrow or Thursday. So we are excited to get the hot chocolate to you. We're going to be doing an experiment on Friday with the hot chocolate. And then also, if you have not requested Alka-Seltzer tablets, we're going to be doing some experiments next week with Alka-Seltzer. So there is a link on our website on the virtual STEAM tab that you can request that we will mail you some Alka-Seltzer tablets. So we love that you guys are being creative with your supplies, but next week we're going to be using some stuff that's going to be part of the experiment, and we will definitely send you some if you need it. So you can go on our website and request the Alka-Seltzer there. All right, looks like some people are getting on. We just want to say thank you. Hopefully this is part of the day that you look forward to. We love seeing everyone's schedules that include Strive at 10 o'clock on their schedule. So we love seeing that. And thank you for all of the sharing of the events and just getting our name out there, because we love interacting with you guys every single day. No. Okay, so if you printed off the directions, you can get that on. Why are you making that face? You can. Okay. The directions are on the website. It's called Dancing Rice. You can also print off the engineering process for us, or on our website for you guys to use. If you don't have it, you can just use a sheet of paper. You can just talk about it. You don't have to print out the paper if you don't want to. So the first thing is to get your supplies. So we have our water, and just so you know, because I kind of made this mistake, if you have cups of water, you want it to be clear, but don't fill it up all the way to the top, because we're going to be putting baking soda and vinegar in there, and the first time that I did it, it came out of the top of my cup. So fill it only about halfway, or if you want to put it in something, like you could put it inside of a bowl like that, so that, or a plate, so that if it overflows, it's not all over your table. So you need water, you need baking soda, you need vinegar, you need rice. We have rice. We also are going to try a couple other ingredients. I have out black chia seeds and quinoa. So we'll talk about that here in a second. You can use a lot of different things if you want to test other ingredients. Also, there is food coloring. If you don't want to use food coloring, I totally understand, but you can use food coloring if you want. So you're going to start out on your paper writing the title of the experiment, which is Dancing Rice. So go ahead on your engineering design process handout. If you haven't already, go ahead and write Dancing Rice. And then our hypothesis today is, do you think rice is more dense or less dense than water? Do you guys know what dense means?
I know what it means, just kind of to explain.
So dense is how, I'm trying to think of, not a dent, dense. So if you put rice in here, do you think it's going to sink or float? And based on...
Sink.
Okay, so write that down as your hypothesis.
How much you put in there.
Okay, so write that as your hypothesis.
How much are you putting in here? This?
So you're putting it, you're making your hypothesis of, do you think rice is more dense or less dense than water? And then based on that, do you think it's going to sink or float? So write down in your hypothesis, this is in box 2. Do you think it's more dense or less dense than water? And do you think it's going to sink or float? Hi, Smith family. Hannah and Olivia are on.
Hi, Hannah.
All right, and so then we're going to draw a picture of your experiment. So if you are using a bowl, you can use a bowl. You just need it to be clear so that, Olivia said hi, so that you can see the rice or whatever ingredient you use in your container so when it moves.
And hi, Olivia.
Dad's watching. Can you say hi, Dad?
No, he's upstairs.
No, he's not. He's at work. Okay, so when you draw your experiment, you're going to draw whichever, if you're using a cup or if you're using a bowl, you're going to draw your experiment. And you're going to add your water. If you haven't already added your water, you're going to add that in. And then you're going to add your rice. And so you're just going to sprinkle in a little bit of rice.
Wait, that's
Do you want to
rice?
use...
I thought that was rice. No, this is rice.
That's rice. Do you want to use something else? You want to use quinoa?
Sure. Quinoa. You mean the
All
thing
right.
that was spilled all over the floor?
Yeah.
Can I use this?
Sure.
Ew.
All right, so you're going to add in...
Can I scoop it?
is that wet?
Ooh. No.
Okay, so Peyton's using quinoa, and part of... Oh, Anderson's on.
Hi, Anderson.
Part of the scientific
You just
process
scoop
that
it?
we're using
Oh, scoop
is
it. I
that...
can scoop
It's okay. That some things are going to work and some things aren't. That's plenty. You don't need to put that one in. And we're just going to test out different... It's okay. We're going to test out different ingredients to see what works.
Part of
So-
my float.
So
Float.
Peyton is using quinoa and part of it is floating.
Floating.
And Bexley's...
That's cool.
Oh yeah, that is cool. So if you can see on there, it kind of
The
made like
bottom.
a pocket of the
Whatever
chia
that's
seeds.
called.
So it made like, it's down into the water, but it's not, it didn't actually go to the bottom. You can also try a couple different things if you want to try.
Try the rice.
You want to try the rice? Okay.
Can I dump this out?
No, leave that in there.
Let's
You can do
baking
both.
soda.
Okay, so you're going to put in your ingredients. So we have flaxseed, we have chia seeds and quinoa. Do you want to put some rice in there? Okay, so then you're going to put in your baking soda. So you're going to put in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So that's the
not
wrong
a
one.
teaspoon.
That is not a teaspoon, that's a tablespoon. Speaking, you can just pour that. Speaking of teaspoons and tablespoons, has anyone been baking? Did anyone, that's plenty. Has anyone baked anything delicious over this?
We're gonna bake cookies.
We are
sometime.
we're gonna bake cookies. We finally got all the stuff to do it.
At Kroger. That's surprising.
All right. Oh, that was. Okay,
It looks
so
like
it does
it's
look
like
like
connected.
it is connected. So if you can see that, it's like
Turn it around.
hanging on.
To the. Hold on, do that. Hold on.
Okay.
Can you see this?
All right. So 1 teaspoon of baking soda. You're gonna put a teaspoon of
Can I
baking
put
soda
rice
in.
in here?
Sure.
What's the vinegar for?
So we're gonna add that next. So you're gonna put in your ingredients in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And again, you can use more or less baking. Oh, brownies, cupcakes, red velvet cupcakes. I'll give you guys our address and you can mail us some. All right, so we have our ingredient. Bexley's in it to win it with the rice. We are adding 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then if you want to add your food coloring, you can add food coloring, but you don't have to. It's definitely not something that you have to add.
Is there different colors?
No.
Hold on.
I just got out the red.
Let me stir. Oh, so could it go through because it's red?
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything.
All right. So before we add in our vinegar, when you do add, oh my gosh, Bex, that's a lot of red food coloring.
I like it.
When you add the vinegar, you're going to make some observation of what's happening in your, no, what's happening in your cup, okay? So the next thing is you're gonna put in a tablespoon of vinegar, okay? So you're gonna put in a tablespoon of vinegar.
Oh. Good thing we did that over there. Yeah, she knew it was gonna spill it.
You want to put it in?
No, you can't.
And when you start to see some fizz, Bexley, did you put baking soda in there?
Yeah.
Will you go grab a spoon so we can stir it?
Stirs.
If you aren't seeing fizz, you can get a spoon or you can use a piece of spaghetti to stir it.
Piece of spaghetti. But won't it break? Yours looks like fruit punch.
So once you put the baking soda in vinegar.
Oh no.
It's alright. We'll put that in there. Once you put the baking soda and vinegar in there together, look at what's happening in...
It's rising.
It's rising and it's... So, make some observations of what's happening. But yours, Peyton's rice isn't doing anything. Okay, stop.
Can I put it?
So if you want to see what happens, you can add more baking soda. If you can, the quinoa
Quinoa is things that are floating.
is starting to dance, but her rice is not. So we use basmati rice. So maybe that is a type of rice that isn't going to work. Sometimes instant rice. Instant rice usually works. So what we want you guys to do today is you're gonna draw your results of what happens in your observations of what ingredients worked or what ingredients danced and what ingredients did not dance. And you can add more baking soda to it. Can you please stop? You can add more baking soda to it. You can add more vinegar to it. Here, you want to put it in?
Oh. Mine.
And you can add more vinegar to it as well.
I didn't ask for this.
So go ahead and you can. It is pink. Not very much.
I want to watch it rise. No, I want to watch it overflow.
Well, it's not gonna overflow.
What? Well, yes, it is.
Okay, so
Let's put more.
when you are stop. When
It's
you
the
are
vinegar.
writing your observations and your results, you can please stop. No. We're going to write down what danced and what did not dance. And then there are some analysis questions down at the bottom. When you first added the rice, you notice it sank. What does that mean? Is the rice more dense or less dense? And then when you added the vinegar to the water, you should have noticed bubbles forming. These are carbon dioxide bubbles. So what do humans do with carbon dioxide, and what do organisms need carbon dioxide for in the process of photosynthesis? So you're going to have to maybe look up what photosynthesis is.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah, do you know what it is?
Photos.
No.
Photosynthesis.
Bonus points if you look up photosynthesis and figure out what that means.
Points. There are points.
And then when the carbon dioxide bubbles attached to the rice, they began to rise to the top. Does that mean that the carbon dioxide is more or less dense than water? So you can answer those analysis questions when you are finished with the activity. And like I said, make other things, try other things. I tried to break a piece of spaghetti up and put it in to see if it would dance when I tried it before. You can use different things. Maybe try a grape or a blueberry or something that you could put in there to see if it will make it dance. Sure. But it has to probably be a pretty small piece so that you can see if it dances. Like quinoa is not super heavy. Okay, so go ahead and you can wrap up your dancing rice. You can dump your water and try again. And please post pictures. Please post whoa. Ice is going to eat a grape and drop a grape in there. Post pictures of what works and what didn't work. We love hearing things. The browning fruit one, you guys found ingredients that didn't brown them better than we did. So please post
celery.
Please post pictures or send them to us. And use the hashtag STEAMWithStrive if you're posting it on Instagram or Twitter so that we can find them. And also just a reminder, don't forget to request Alka-Seltzer if you need it. We're going to be mailing it out probably next weekend. And that way we have it for next week. Also, very exciting, we posted our very first digital breakout on our website yesterday. And so if you want to try that out, there's a video that has instructions and kind of an overview of what to do with that. We would love you to have maybe a race between your family, do like mom and one kid, dad and the other kid, and you can race against each other, or do kids versus adults. Or you could also do it via FaceTime. So if you have relatives that are far away, go ahead and FaceTime them and race through to see who can do the digital breakout first. So have a great rest of your day. Hope you guys will join us. Join us tomorrow. We will be back with another activity and everything will be on our website. So have a good rest of your day and thanks for joining us.